Bum, bum, ba-da-na-na-na, bum,
Does it happen?
Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerd On Update, our weekly show in which we talk about the nerdy news that excites us, makes us angry, makes us hit the streets, or just makes us laugh, makes us cry. Oh no. Is this where this is going? Anyway, and then the later part of the show in which we
cherry pie.
answer questions from you, the people.
What if it makes us cream out
And
of our
scream.
orifices? Makes us very wet
while we're
and
wearing
sticky.
jeans. And it's
And having
obscene.
some peaches and cream.
You can't rhyme cream with cream, Tom.
Well,
If
he can do whatever.
Lil Wayne can rhyme bitch with bitch, then I can rhyme cream with peaches and cream.
I'm not gonna let Lil Wayne get away with that. He's gonna get a strongly worded letter from me, and I will not be rhyming bitch with bitch.
It's too bad he can't read, so.
And that's the sitch. I'll ask him to switch the lyrics around.
Oh, that was good.
How you doing? How you doing, Josh? How you doing, Josh? How you been?
am doing
how's
well.
life?
I am
You wanna know how
hot.
I'm doing?
I'm feeling hot. The heat wave. I do like that they're calling it a heat wave because I'm like, bitch, this is summer now. It's like this is.
But this
we
is
are
like
now in summer.
But this is aggressively hot for LA.
It's true. It like last week we were like, oh wow, it's a modest like 70s to
Is
mid-80s.
this aggressively hot for LA, or did just summer hit real late?
To me,
It's
it was
mid-July.
It was like 70s to like low 80s,
which
and
in
now we're
June
at, like,
is
90s.
fucking unheard of in LA. June and a temperate. There were days
we had rain for like the first 3 months of this
Yeah,
year.
there was
We had snow.
June.
We did.
There were days in June. It was 50 degrees when we woke up in Burbank. That's
I love that.
called
But
global
and that being
warming.
said, like
No, that's
in
not a thing.
LA,
Fake news.
in LA,
Fake news.
October is still like.
But how could it be
80s.
cold if it's global warming?
It's climate change.
Yeah.
Climate
Hate it,
change.
hate it,
Climate change. Just
Anyway.
like what happens in my pants.
Climate change.
Swamp nuts.
It's getting hot in here.
So
Hot.
So Josh is feeling warm. Corey, how you doing, man? How you like being in the green room for like 40 minutes?
Good. Yeah, it's fun. I was just playing arena while I waited, so ain't no thing. I'm good, man. I'm almost done with an edit of a video we shot like a month back. Looking forward to that. Kind of change of pace because I need a few extra. I think it was going to be one video. I think it's going to be 2 videos now. So like there'll be a part 2.
like a Mission Impossible movie. They couldn't fit one movie. They're just like, let's break it in half.
Yeah, well, mine's more so that people didn't send me what I needed to finish it, so I'm making it work.
So like it's like Rebel Moon. It's like one big movie, but it's part 1, part 2.
Yeah. It's like Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's so much. I'm just gonna break it down.
No, that's just a big movie.
It was 4 parts though.
No, there's like 7 parts.
Is it 7? I thought it was 4.
7 parts.
4 hours.
Yeah. 4 hours.
But yeah. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm working on that. But I'm good. You know, as good as you can be when we're both out of work for strikes. Fun times.
Shout out to my non-union job.
Hey.
Fucking no picket lines in front of my building because no one knows where we are.
And that is at 17. No, I'm just kidding.
555 Oxnard Drive. But fucking I watched Jury Duty, and I'll tell you this right now: blasphemy right now. The enjoyment I got out of that show compared to the enjoyment, I know comparison is the thief of joy. Go watch the Thief of Joy. The enjoyment I got from watching Jury Duty over The Office was inched above, and I was like, this is good show. This is good show. I like show.
Wait, what? What's the comparison?
Jury Duty and The Office. and you're like, they're very different shows, but it's
Yeah.
like, but what it's supposed to be is crazy,
Scripted
wacky
and unscripted, right?
characters and insane situations in mundane worlds.
Yeah.
And there is this through line of no matter how wacky characters are, there is one or two particular actors or characters who have an emotional, heartfelt through line through them. And I was very like pleased to get to the finale of the show and just be kind of rewarded in this very beautiful, heartfelt way that I was like, holy shit, I want to be a better person now. Like I was like, I have not felt that way from watching a show in a long time. And it was so pointed at the audience to feel that way. And you're like, wow, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. 8 episodes. I watched 5 in a row, and then I watched 3 more after. And I was like, this good show. This good show.
This good show.
This good show.
You know what else? The Bear's only 8 episodes.
Yeah, but this is good show. You know what I'm saying? This is show that doesn't exist yet. It's kind of like worrying about tomorrow. I'm worrying about something that hasn't existed yet. I'm excited about something that I haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
But it's probably good. I heard episode 6 of season 2 is fucking insane. So
Of season 2?
Of The Bear.
Oh, wow. I haven't even got to start season 2 yet. I just got Dana caught up, and I'm so excited to start season 2.
I'm we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
it gets so much better than that bridge.
I mean, I saw. I was like, But no, yeah, I feel like I've lost a fuck ton of weight. I don't know if it's a good thing. But I mean, I could always be thinner.
It happens,
better.
Man. Your weight is good. But it could be better.
You're pretty fat now. PH fat. Pretty hot and tempting. So.
Yeah.
I was gonna say now I'm just a fat large boy. I feel like I'm actually like, I don't know, like my shirts are like baggy on me. I'm like, they used to be so baggy. Anyways, enough about me. Enough about that. Anything that we want to share, talk about before we get into all the good juicy news? Boys.
No. Shout out to Nate. Nate's coming to town for like 3 days. He's gonna come with us to Magic Night. It's gonna be fun times.
On which day? Which night?
Thursday.
Oh, are you guys
going over to our LGS?
Okay.
Going over to our LGS. Gonna pub stomp. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, against that dude that has the Wasatora deck is just evil. Who's just doesn't give a fuck if anyone.
Over at the
yeah, you know what I'm talking
LGS,
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, bro, we all trying to have fun out here, baby.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give myself a little pat on the back. I got to play with a few of our friends from our LGS this weekend. Shout out to our friend Frank. But I played a couple of my decks, and as we're leaving, and I take this as a huge compliment from Frank. This dude doesn't say things unless it has intention behind it. But he goes, you build decks like my other friend group builds decks. And I was like, is that a bad thing? And he goes, no. Really thought out, really strong. And next time we play, I'm going to bring out a deck I haven't played with anyone here yet. And I was like,
well, what the fuck?
Whoa.
Oh, no.
So I'm really scared.
Why? The power creep was already a problem in that pod.
I'm really
proud
of your deck
It's just
making.
for me. Yeah, I'm really proud. I was like, I took that as a huge compliment.
Next time, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah, and I'm like super here for it. But yeah, that was my big that was my like moment. I came home, dude. I was like, what are you smiling about? I was like, you wouldn't get it.
Big deck energy.
Yeah, I got some big deck energy. Felt good. Felt real good. I was like, all right, there we go. There we go.
I like it.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about before we get started.
I love it.
Well, who wants to go first with the news?
I can go first. I can go last. Doesn't matter.
Corey, you go first.
Great. So my news.
Hold on, we gotta clap it up, Corey.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. It says Juniper. She actually claps really good.
Chlamydia. Every time.
I gotta tell you guys this real quick. I'm so sorry before I start my news. Juniper started this thing that I feel like you guys will both appreciate. When we catch her doing things that she's not supposed to do, or if we tell her no, she has a new reaction that we have to like do the parent like don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. We're trying to teach a lesson here. I fail at it most times. So like today, we were playing a game of like I hide, she comes and finds me. She's taking longer than usual, and I was like, that's not a good sign.
She's getting
At this
into
age,
something.
babies are real repetitive. Yep, she's getting into something. So I go around the corner, and she has a pencil, and she's just drawing on the wall, drawing on the pencil wall. And I go, Juniper. And her new thing when we catch her to do things is she whips around, she goes, whoa, like points to it. She goes, whoa.
Who did
Like,
that?
how did that happen?
Did you see this?
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's like and I have
Whoa.
to be like, it's not funny. It's not funny. But like she did it the other day too. She was like
It's
going over
funny.
towards this outlet. We have protectors on all the outlets, but we obviously want to teach her don't go sticking around in the outlets. So she goes and Dana goes, don't do it. And she goes, whoa, and like points to it. She's like, do you see this thing? I almost touched that. Anyway, my news. Magic the Gathering related. Who knew? There's a Knights of the Old Republic set. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my
I
god!
feel
I
like
swear to God.
We need a
die.
segment that's like This Week in Magic with Corey and This Week in Wrestling with the Steves. And
Yeah.
it's just like, boop.
We got our spoilers for Commander Masters, which is a new set coming out full of reprints only that are known as staples and lesser than in Commander, because you guys got to balance it out with the terrible cards that no one asked for reprints for. Because how else would you sell packs? So we got a lot of cool cards in this set, but there is a cycle of cards that people are particularly very excited about, and they are the if you control a commander, you can cast this for free cycle. There's 3 in particular that people are very excited for: the red, the black, and the blue.
The best colors.
So the blue is a counter. So it's if you control your commander, cast this for free, counter targets, but like it's stupid.
Was that
Super
one force?
strong. For Fierce Guardianship. Then there's a black one, which is Deadly Rollick. If you control a commander, exile target creature. Don't have to pay its mana cost to cast a spell. And the red one, Deflecting Swat. If you control your commander, change the target of a single spell with another target. So the cool thing about that is usually things like this, when they're reprinted, which people have rightfully complained about with Wizards, like they did with Dockside Extortionist, where it was a rare card and it got upshifted to Mythic, meaning that yes, they're reprinting it, but it's going to be super rare in a set that's more expensive. So the price didn't dip at all. It was like a $60 card. I think it dipped to like $47, which is like not much. But when they announced this cycle, they're keeping it at rare. The Fierce Guardianship, which was a $65 card, has now dipped to $30 without even the set releasing yet. Deadly Rollick is down to 20, I believe. And Fierce, what did I say? Deflecting Swat is also down to 30. So
I remember when I was
set,
looking
just the announcement dipped them $30. So we're looking at those probably coming into every pod near you very soon.
I remember when I was building my first Rakdos deck, the vampire one, and I was like, I
Yeah.
need blah blah, and it's like, oh, you need some kind of like counter spell, and it's like, dude, there's nothing that counters in red and in black, and I was like, okay, and it's like you get deflecting shot, and at the time I was like, that's $70. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck my ass.
It's 30 now. I'm expecting it to be a $20 card. That's my guess. Not financial advice, obviously, but I'm looking at probably picking up one of each of those when the set releases, just to have. And if they're under 20, I'm probably going to get 2 Fierce Guardianships. That's just how that's going to roll. But yeah, that's my news. There's a lot of other cool cards. You can check it out. The full set is spoiled, and they're starting to spoil the commander decks that are coming along with it as well. So check that out.
So if someone wanted to get some singles, Corey, where could they go?
They could TCG Player, and you could use our affiliate link. It's pretty sweet. We have it somewhere. I don't remember what the code is for it on here, but you could go to our website. It's there.
It's if you scroll down on our channel here on the Twitch.
Oh, perfect.
There is support us by shopping TCG Player.
I was like, I can't remember if we have a code. I don't think we have an exclamation part.
Y'all should do it. Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon.
Actually, I think we do.
Binders, accessories, whatever. TCG Player, go do it. And
hey, look at that.
It'll make us real heavy, real juicy.
Yeah, but anyway, that's my news.
Josh, you and me.
You.
All right, everybody, get your accounting caps on, because today we're talking about numbers. and fuck numbers. But today, I was looking at because
69.
Josh's topic. What?
You said fuck numbers. I said 69.
Absolutely.
That's a fuck number.
Josh's topic is very, movie industry related. And so I was like, okay, well, I would probably talk about that. If not, then let me talk about something that I kind of look at, think about, and just some for y'all to think about, just some for y'all to just witness. And maybe, I think too much about this shit, and maybe I see it and then I'm just like, but why? It's kind of like I get the chicken bones and I throw them on the fucking, board, and I'm like, all right, what does this mean, kind of thing. But so this is movie money madness at this point. So at the time of this thing, at the time of this show, this conversation, this topic, the Flash, the latest and greatest DCU film, most anticipated and greatest since The Dark Knight. That's what everyone said. So all those influencers who got all those free screenings said, that David Lynch said, had a publicist said like, hey, I don't normally like these things, but this is the kind of movie we need right now. And Tom Cruise tweeted, I watched The Flash and it's awesome.
Tom Cruise did.
I think they got fucking paid, and that's what their publicist just fucking paid for, put out for them. Because I will tell you right now, the marketing and weirdo fucking direction they did with that shit was just off the wall dumb. But that being said, the Flash will end its theatrical run. It is one of the first movies in the DCU to have a Web3 experience. I think it has like NFTs or some shit. Anyways,
what?
Budgeted movie, $220 million. The box office, a global worldwide box office, $263.6 million. Very bad. No
Not
two ways
great.
about it. It's black and white. It's not gray. It's just very bad. So bad. It is. It has not beat Black Adam. It is lower than Green Lantern.
Holy shit.
Didn't Indiana Jones do not great either?
I said movie madness. I said movie madness. All right. So
gotcha.
So
keep your money socks on.
Yeah, I will.
This is the movie that James Gunn said this is exactly what my DC will be like. I gave notes months ago, and obviously, if you watched it, you could see those notes. Anyways, moving on. The Dial of Destiny. Thank you, Corey, for bringing that up. That's the newest movie. Paramount co-produced. Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy. Shout out to the homie. On certain websites, we'll say about $290 million budget. Actually, with kind of marketing involved, it's more around 329.6 million to make the Dial of Destiny. It is so far in the course of 3 weeks made about $303 million. So also not a great showing. If you want to know, because it's kind of interesting, Corey, give me a rough number. How much do you think Raiders of the Lost Ark? How much do you think it cost to make?
How much do I think it costs to make?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Don't even worry about inflation. I have the numbers anyways.
Oh, okay. I'll say let's say 500 million.
500 million with inflation? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Like
okay.
today's dollars.
Okay, cool. So Raiders of the Lost Ark was made for $20 million at the time. With inflation, it is $60 million.
Great.
So, a movie that spawned a franchise of 5 or so other movies and sequels and TV shows and theme parks and merchandising and video games. We ought to love the Lego ones. Cost $60 million in today's money. And this current one, Dial of Destiny, cost $329.6 million. To have, pretty much Jurassic World Dominions chasing in there. But interesting, a different way is the movie Elemental, the one that no one in America apparently watched, overseas. Has actually been performing quite well, and it has legs to grow. Something that James Cameron said about Avatar is like, I don't give a fuck about box office weekends. My movies have legs and they grow, and people come watch them later on. So, Elemental, which is actually a really high thing, it's Pixar $200 million budget to make, and a box office is 311.7 million. And it's a big deal because this is still like its third week in theaters, and that means people are still watching and people are still growing. So that's, to me, that's kind of a nice thing. It's a healthy thing to see. Probably still not enough for, like, you know, to recoup a lot of its costs, because it does cost money to keep them in theaters. This last weekend, we saw the opening of Mission Impossible, the 15th one, part 5 or something like that, Dead Reckoning, a recorded so far $291 million budget to make. A lot of people are kind of saying the reason why the budget ballooned so much is because this was shot during COVID time. So, you know, that big old cruise liner that Tom Cruise had to buy or rent out so the crew can live on that cruise liner, and production getting shut down multiple times, definitely inflated the budget. But in 1 week, it's made $234.1 million. I'm pretty sure like 180 of it came from overseas, which is a big, strong number. Again, we rely a lot on fucking China. But no, it's the first week. I think it's quote unquote still projected to actually make the most money out of all of the summer blockbusters between Barbie and Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer being a rated R movie, and you know, Dead Reckoning is just an action blockbuster. Which is, you know, cool. We'll see how it goes, and I'm really happy to see Christopher McQuarrie, you know, do really well, and we'll see where it goes with the next one. I heard it's good. But the last thing I want to talk about, this movie money madness thing, is so we have all these big budget movies, and they're really not, you know, hitting hard, hitting big. And I don't know if the audience is so keen on watching a lot of trailers before they come out, but there's a film coming out called The Creator that I was talking about a little earlier in our little green room, directed by Gareth Edwards, who I think would have been who want to do some things with Rogue One but couldn't do with Rogue One. A lot of people still love Star Wars Rogue One, but this film, The Creator, original story, very sci-fi, rich, cool looking visuals, $86 million. Very cheapo thing. And it's just kind of interesting to see where people are landing with.
I'm sorry, that was made for 86 million.
$86 million.
I haven't watched the trailer fully yet, but I've seen, like, you know, when you hover over something, it kind of gives you like a brief stills.
Yeah, I call it the Pornhub preview.
Even the stills looked fucking amazing.
Yeah. Wow. 86 million for that. And the CG and the cinematography looks better than probably any of the movies I might have mentioned. Maybe Dead Reckoning, I don't know. I'll have to see that. But
Past Lives was made for 50, including advertising.
I think it's less than that.
I think it was 50 for production, cast, and advertising together.
Okay. But that being said, it's just a very interesting time to see where money lands and how it goes in. For people who are video gamers, you guys might know the term shovelware. Kind of feels like that's what's happening. Like, we've no longer have the mid-budget films now, and now the big blockbusters are still becoming like the mid-budget shovelware movies. It's like they're half-baked, just put them out. We cost too much just to keep them around.
I was actually part of this discussion about CG recently, and of course it stemmed from Jurassic Park CG, because that's still a fucking benchmark. And someone was asking the question, why over the course of 30 years, why does it seem like CGI is taking a downturn in the last decade? And the most common answer was the fact that companies are not giving the time to artists to do what they need to do. The CGI is such an afterthought It's the crunch time. We did everything. We took time with everything else. Let's just pump out the CG. No one's gonna notice kind of situation. Like if you talk about, I mean, Sonic had to go redo their whole thing, but even they felt, he didn't want to crunch his CGI artists, so they delayed it and delayed it and deleted it. But like stuff like, we heard the stuff from the Marvel CG reports where they're like, we're so overworked. The amount of people it took to make Thanos, which was a feat, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury. We haven't had it since. So it's just interesting to kind of see maybe something like that. The creator, maybe they were allowed time to actually focus on the CG that they needed to focus on. Maybe someone in the rankings was like, no, trust me, like let them take their fucking time with that, or it's gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
Part of me, I feel like, is very half and half, right? Where I think like the golden goose is to be like James Cameron, have all the fucking time in the world, all the fucking money in the world.
Right. There's like
But
outliers to every CG thing I was
but I
talking
think
about.
I think the true golden goose that everyone should strive for is like the Spielberg Jurassic Park, right? I know what we need, and the CGI is just going to enhance what we're doing. A lot of stuff we're doing is in camera, but we're not going to completely, redo it. Like Neil Blomkamp and what he did with District 9 was so insane for the time, because they did it all in real time, and it was just never before seen the way that workflow. It's the same way as like, what's that one game, that detective game where they captured faces? It was
LA Noire.
LA Noire, and it was just like that was pre-performance capture, and so they were like, that's insane how to do it. But now, I think Gareth Edwards at this point is just kind of showing, just like how everyone else, it's like, if you plan the fuck out of it, like the CGI can just be added very easily afterwards. But instead, like, where it's like, well, you're planning on just, cool, you're not going to wear a suit, and we're going to change the suit at the very last minute, and you're just like, needless to say, like Infinity War, right? Or not Infinity War, Endgame. None of them wore suits during that like red and white suit. Those are all CGI suits. And just the design choice of what they were is just a matter of like, I guess do that one. It's not thought and
or like
planned
you see those
out.
behind the scenes where like Robert Downey Jr. and Don Cheadle are just wearing the chest, and that's it. The rest is all mocap, because they're like, well, we need someone, if they need to be touched or poked or whatever, that's still there. But it's disheartening, because we do have outliers like Avatar and stuff like that, where you're like, holy shit, when you actually take time and let artists be artists, they can do some pretty amazing things.
Or you just plan.
It's
plan.
Both,
you don't
right?
like.
It's both. It's got to be both.
Yeah, it has to be both, but it's also just like, you're not being like, well, they're going to make up for my lack of planning.
Yeah.
Because you're relying too hard on artists to be artists, and then you don't give them enough time. But
let's put an actor in front of a green scene in a motion capture suit, and we'll shoot the movie that way, and then just give them a couple months to render everything, backgrounds, details, buildings, weather, suits. It won't take any time whatsoever.
We joke at my work where it's just like, just shoot him against a green, make it flat, we'll figure out where it actually lands on the frame. It's like, oh my fucking god, every time.
Anyway,
so,
I'm gonna go watch Jurassic Park.
Movie money madness. It's fucking crazy. Go watch The Creator, because we need more new fresh ideas with low budgets. So next, go ahead, Josh.
Real quick, Josh, I'm gonna jump in real quick because Brad just said something in the chat, and I want him to look up Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Bump the Lamp. Just Google the video about Bump the Lamp and be refreshed on when people appreciated art. Anyway, Josh, go ahead.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is one of my favorite movies.
Okay, we good.
Something happened over the past few days.
What?
Something big. Well, we all knew that it was going to happen. Even last week when we were doing the update, we were talking about this is probably going to happen, but all right, there was an extension for a couple of days, and SAG-AFTRA is striking. Amped, whatever the fuck.
AMPTP.
AMTP. It sounds stupider if I say amped. Anyway, an agreement could not be formed, and so SAG
despite a federal arbiter.
Yeah, no, it's just there's so much, and just even the past. So that was Thursday. It was announced
Yeah,
on
Wednesday
Thursday, and
was
then it
the
started
day, but
Friday.
Yeah,
The picket started
12:01.
on Friday, and it's also a heat wave, so they're shorter than WGA was at the beginning. Sending out emails and whatnot. Anyway, and it was hot. I was at the picket today, and it was hot, and there were people out.
Hillary Duff was out.
Yeah, Bob
Shut up.
Odenkirk. I was like, oh hey.
Let the rain fall down.
Um,
We wish it would.
I don't know. It's I have a lot of feels about this. I had some family in town. In fact, my brother-in-law, he is a copyright and trademark lawyer, and he's
That's right.
just the AI stuff. He's just like, holy shit. It's just like interesting conversations about law and how the industry is right now. And I'm just completely, honestly, this news is really interesting to me only because in the grand scheme of things, we are in a historical time in the industry. And not just, I mean, just we're on the heels of the pandemic. I'm not going to sit here and say a bold statement that the pandemic is over. I'm not, because it's not. But the industry has changed because of that. And then even what you're talking about, Tom, with all that kind of stuff, and then this, like, and I'm just completely flummoxed by people saying, by the douchebaggery that is being expressed on national television, the things that are being said, that those are the kinds of things that I do you not have like a thought in your head that goes, maybe you shouldn't say that on national TV?
Oh, Bob Iger?
Yeah, like maybe you shouldn't.
It's disturbing.
Yeah,
and unrealistic.
It's like but then we're just gonna wait it out until everybody starts losing their homes. Yeah, I'm just like, you said that on national TV. You said that in an interview. Like you said that out loud.
Yeah, at a billionaire retreat.
Yeah, at a billionaire. I'm
It was
just like,
an insider.
are you
Yeah, and
fucking with me? Like it's.
I mean,
Ashton Kutcher's gonna jump out and go, "You've been punked," right? That's right.
No.
Is it cool if I add to some of that?
It's the conversation is huge because this isn't just this. It's stemming further conversations. Like I think Mark Ruffalo was talking about indie films and whatnot, and how this could be the growth towards that, because there is an agreement for truly independent producers can sign an interim agreement. I'm sorry, Tom. Yes, speak.
No, you're good. Yeah, there's an interim agreement for producers to independently make their films. I love that like 7 people sent me that shit. I'm like, guys, fucking too late. And you also realize it costs money to make that. Do you think I fucking have all the money? I can't make all that shit. Anyways, I would love to. Like, hey, fucking Bob Odenkirk, you ain't got nothing, right? You want to do some shit? No, but yeah. So a lot of people who are independent filmmakers within our networks that we know of are probably going to try to do something cool. I think that'd be awesome. Something that Josh did mention is, unfortunately, the sides of the workers versus the side of the decision makers is just so there's such this giant disparity between them.
Yeah, it is massive.
And we have such things as like Devin Sawa talking about how their likeness was used in a recent Found Destination baby spoiler, and it was about his consent or even notification, because his contract for the first film was that they could use his likeness in perpetuity in all forms of media. And technically, if it goes to digital, it counts as new forms of media, and that's that was like the baby spud of like what has grown into this monster, which is content and media and new media and residuals and healthcare and how much you can afford. And just to let everyone know, if you guys don't realize, the historical moment that we're all in the industry is that shows are being put onto linear programming on television because there's not enough programming to fill the slots, because all the productions have shut down. Some productions are moving countries so they can start using non-SAG-AFTRA actors in those countries to shoot things, such as the Alien TV show for Hulu and FX. They're like, we haven't seen a strike between the AMPTP and WGA and SAG-AFTRA combined in 63 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is once in a lifetime kind of thing, not being like opportunistic, but you're also fighting against a bunch of fucking yuppies who also, like, let's say they're like me, who are just techie dudes who are like, I can make AI stuff work. And they, in all of their own rights, want to try to like break into technology in such a way, but they're not considering the effects of what they're doing is like just outdating like literally humanity in such a way. Because I think something that Josh is kind of getting into is just like the deal for background actors. You get paid for a 1-day shoot for $150, and then they can use your likeness, and they'll do a full scan, and they can use that in perpetuity forever. So it's just
Zordon.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
Zordon.
Zordon
he got paid once.
$150 once to scan his face, and then was used in every
episode.
Yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Got paid
I like
nothing.
that it's bringing to the forefront, because I think that there is this what you don't know kind of viewpoint of people that don't know how the industry works, how even being an actor, what it looks like. And it's like, it's the benefits and how you qualify for those things, and actors telling stories about like, okay, well, let's break it down. Here's what this costs. This is what this does. And it's like, I think a couple of years ago, somebody got on blast on the internet because an audience member or something was making fun of them because they were complaining about how much they make. And they were like, okay, yeah, let's break it down. This is what I actually make.
Yeah.
And this is where it goes. And it's like, after all of that, this is what I actually make. And it's just like, even with actors, telling stories about, okay, just take a guess how much you think I made for that show. Nope. Not even close. And it's just, it's
the lead from the CW show Rain. She did like a TikTok and did a breakdown of just being like, yes, I was the lead for a show for 6 seasons, and this is how much I made. So you think I took that all in? It's like, but I have a publicist, I have an agent, I have to like move, and I have to travel, I have all these costs. Is like, so you like, it looks like I took home like 15K, like I think a week, but it's like I took home more like 1.5 a week after everything. It's like I have to live in an apartment, it's like, and that's like, she was the lead of a show. And there's a lot of people who don't lead in shows who are just like working actors, and it's like, how difficult do you think it is for everyone else? There's 160,000 quote unquote SAG-AFTRA actors. It's like, not all of them are making fucking Chris Pine money. But that being said, it's a crazy time, and I think for people who don't know that, like, this is a big precedent. Like, Kaiser Permanente workers are going on strike, UPS workers are going on strike, school janitors are going on strike. This is a big time for a lot of people, and just kind of giving everyone that heads up, which is like, hey, everyone should be kind of on the side of the workers, in that sense. And we're all just trying to fight for better circumstance for everyone, even if you're in those unions or not. It's just like, this is only for our own future, that like people are indispensable at the end. So
yeah,
it's a big deal.
It's and it's Barry. I mean, you were mentioning Barry in the green room on the Discord. We were talking about unions and whatnot, and it's like California is becoming humorously ridiculous in terms of cost of living, where you're just like, oh, okay, that's how much that costs. Cool. All right, nice. But it's like, where are you gonna go? Like, it's just, anyway, we are in a time just worldwide, nationwide, that it's just like, people are like, no, this doesn't work. Anyway, that's I mean, this news can go on it's just the beginning. It's just the start. I'm sure more is going to come out, more stories, more questions, more info.
It's like the sinking of the Titanic. It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Just the tip of the iceberg. One thing I want to add is that a lot of people were worried, and someone did like an AMA with Neil Gaiman and was like, hey, if I go to the movies, is that crossing the picket line? And they're like, no, like, that supports the people who made the movies. And it's like, go watch your movies, go watch your shows. And it's like, but then talk about those things, because he's like, if you don't go to those movies, it will show that the stars really don't matter. Those people really don't matter to those studios.
Streaming subscriptions. It's like, no, that's not. You're actually proving their point that it's it's a volatile market and whatnot. And it's like, no.
And that, people are indispensable. It's like, so go watch your favorite things unabashedly. And I was like, that's interesting. That was a really cool way to kind of like shed light. He's like, with Good Omens, only a couple 100,000 people watch it, and he's like, but they could use that number versus like box office numbers. So it's like, it was like cool. So just check out, seek the experts, if anything. Questions?
Yes, next part of the show is in which we answer questions from you, the people, and you can submit your questions in many different ways. Go to our website, nerdon.tv/questions. The best way is to join the Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord, and there are channels within there that you can submit your questions. But the absolute best way is to join the Nerdon Nation. And you'll get fun perks, and you'll get to help us do this more and create more content and do it more often. And you get the Nerd On Nudge, where we answer your questions first. And you can ask questions like Mamba asks. Pick your six people. Anyone from friends, family, your enemies, even people from the Nerd On Nation as your Pokemon lineup. Once picked, that Pokemon will then transform into. What Pokemon will they transform into?
Huh.
I am going to be very useless on this.
Default, yeah.
I'm going to be so useless on this question.
So default to Tom.
I will allow you guys to answer. I can pick my 6 people, but end scene.
Okay.
I don't know any. I can't even put any sort of.
Read it one more time for me.
Yeah. Pick your 6 people. Anyone from friends, family, your enemies, even people from the Nerd On Nation as your Pokemon lineup. Once picked, what Pokemon will they transform into?
Interesting. I see. Like, you pick a person, and then what Pokemon are they? I see. This is tough. Because you're essentially thinking of 12 answers.
Yeah. I think I have 2 so far.
Okay.
Which means 4 answers. I have 6 answers so far.
I mean, Tom, I'm going to say Josh becomes Machamp. I mean, you have to start with Machop first.
It becomes it. Imagine Goro from Mortal Kombat.
But if he were
Pokemon.
cooler. Way cooler.
Okay. And they had as a Pokemon lineup. Okay.
No legendaries.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy. That's fine. No legendaries. I don't need them. Okay.
I don't know why I keep picturing Tom as Scyther, but I do. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a compliment. I hope it is. Scyther's one of my favorite.
Okay.
But I do for some reason. It's all going to be Gen 1 for me. I hope you know as well.
Okay. Okay, wait. Do Gen 1? We do keep it Gen 1. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Okay.
I'm just. You know what? I'm just in it for Tom's answer now.
Corey, he's Alakazam.
Sure.
I was going to ask you who you think is better at Magic, you or Spencer.
Well,
because he doesn't play Commander, but you play
he
Commander.
Play Commander, yeah.
But he plays plays competitive. So
I've been out of the competitive scene for a minute.
I'll pick Spencer. He becomes Gengar.
Yeah.
Josh, to me, becomes Electabuzz. Steve's becomes Machamp.
Yeah. Yes.
I gotta look this up.
Julie becomes I think Julie becomes a Sandslash, because she always says she's the office goblin, and that's the closest thing I could think about an office goblin. I was going to put a Pikachu, but I was like, that's not really a goblin. Okay, so I have 2, 4, so I need 2 more.
You have 5.
2 more. I have 5. I have you 2, Steve's, and okay, yeah, so I have 5. I have 1 more. Then I'm gonna pick Mamba, and Mamba becomes fucking an Arbok because he's a snake. Yeah. And I think that's the right answer.
That's the correct answer. I agree with Electabuzz, Josh. I'm gonna say I'll go with Brad then, and I'll say
Ooh, you're right. Fuck. Oh, I could pick T-Dog and put him as Blastoise. Fuck.
yeah, T-Dog's Blastoise for sure.
Fuck. Actually, our
Anyone
team
gonna
should
watch the
fight.
remake
Our
of
team
Rurouni
should fight.
Kenshin? There's a question that I want to answer in the chat. And
I put it down.
what would Brad would be? I
Brad.
think of something thoughtful
Magneton.
and artistry
Oh,
driven.
whoops.
Magneton.
Magneton.
Mr. Mime.
Yeah. I mean, I
think
always
Brad
say
could pull off
Smeargle.
some miming, like killer miming. Takes a lot of improv, takes a lot of guts. Mr. Mime. Oh, good. That was a happy one.
I mean, hanging out with Ash's mom all those times with no bedroom.
So
you know what they do.
We said, what did we say Spencer was?
I said Gengar. Because if you're Alakazam, then he's Gengar because, you know, you're both like, you know what I'm saying?
I respect that. Cool. Next question.
Next question.
Yes.
Josh. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I like that.
I mean,
all right, next question.
Yes, next question. Spencer, shout out.
Shout out.
Would you rather live in your favorite video game or movie?
Would I rather live in Lord of the Rings or Knights of the Old Republic?
Knights of the Old Republic.
I don't know though, man.
Why not both? No, I'm just kidding.
In the movie,
I mean, you get
in the Shire. Look, in the book, yeah, the Shire gets fucked. But in the movie, it doesn't. Everyone's peaceful, everyone's happy, and I could just kick it.
Like, would you be a hobbit? Like, I'm curious. Like, would you be a hobbit?
I get to eat and smoke weed and garden all day.
What's wrong with me? Of course you'd be a hobbit. God.
I get to smoke weed, garden, and cook all day. That's it.
Addendum question.
And I live in a cabin.
Do you think Josh and I would be hobbits, or do you think we'd be other races?
Tom, the hobbit lifestyle's too laid back for you. It's too. You would be so bored. You'd be like a week into this, and you're like, so what are we doing here? And I was like, this is it.
To walk the ring.
This is it. This is what we do. We play music. We celebrate birthdays. We drink. We go to get the. We go to the Green Dragon Inn and get some mead. Josh is pretty close because he loves gardening, and he does like cooking. I feel like Tom would be a dwarf because they know how to get shit done. And a lot of dwarfs are like, you know what? Fuck you guys, I'll do it myself.
Give me that bearded ass women right there, baby.
Yeah, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Fine.
So.
I'll do it myself.
Anyway.
So Josh, how about you? Video game or movie?
My favorite movie. Big Lebowski takes place in Los Angeles. It's a shit show. Here we are.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Are people trying to get money from you, thinking you're one of many Joshes?
Yeah, actually.
Tom is a wizard because he has the orb. So he's Saruman.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
So Tom's an evil wizard.
No, I was once the wise.
You've always been jealous of Gandalf. You've always had secondary plans. You also hate Radagast.
No, he's stinky. He's got snot everywhere.
Yeah, you don't see him for the important role he plays in the world.
A passive one.
I think I would much rather live in the world of Final Fantasy VII, except there is the issue of an impending spiritual nuclear apocalypse. But you know, it's fine.
Isn't there mega poverty?
Who's to say that I am going to be in poverty?
I feel like the only people who aren't in poverty are people who work for Shinra. That's what I thought.
Right.
But you can have it. I just didn't know.
But I could live out in like a little like village on a random island that you get a lot of great AP for, and like I can give you great side quest. Hey, I give great side quest.
So now we have to find out if Tom wants to live in the Prestige or favorite video game. It's
just a meteor.
Soulsborne.
Oh, it's probably Pokemon.
So it's Pokemon.
I fucking live in Pokemon.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, why not? Like all I do is just take these random wild animals who are happy. I steal them from their mothers and family.
Stay 10 years old forever.
Yeah, and then I go battle these war vets who have these giant houses that have been abandoned, and I beat them up, and
Yeah.
then I also
They
foil the
don't have
plans of organized
PTSD at
crime.
all.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you never become a you never beat any sort of league until you're 30 years into your journey.
But I'm still 12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
Ash
he
is
12?
12.
12 now. Okay, so 2
Because
years.
okay, look, there was a
So
movie.
every 10 years he ages a year.
Gains 1. Yeah, like the Latios and Latias movie, they have a little Pikachu short in the beginning, and Pikachu gets lost in the little French town, and then they're late to like this dinner, and then Ash like sets his dinner up, and he's like, Pikachu, do you remember what day it is? He's like, it's been a year since we first met. I was like, what the fuck? I was so like, what in the theater? I was like, no way. It's been like 8 here.
Yeah.
It's like bullshit.
It's been a year since we met. Yo, what?
It's like, no, I hate you.
What is
I hate
time?
this. Impossible.
Yeah, you don't want to live in the Prestige, Tom.
Impossible. No, I don't. I probably there's not one Asian person in the Prestige, so they probably all died.
Or
Making railroads.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're enslaved
So,
working on railroads.
Not about it.
unfortunately.
And or I'm Edison's henchman and I'm burning down Tesla's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Next
Yeah.
question comes from T-Dog8282. I love this question. What's your favorite epic rap? What's your favorite epic rap battle of history? I know mine.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Dr. Seuss versus Shakespeare.
It's a good one.
Watsky is, I love Watsky, and he is ridiculous in that sketch, in that video. It's so good. It's so good.
It's a really good one.
It's really good.
It's up there in my top 5. I think my favorite one though is Einstein versus Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
That one's incredible.
I don't have one because I don't watch those.
Oh,
But
well,
I
there's
will
also
now start watching those.
the other one that I really like is I'll answer for Tom. There's a I think it's Mr. Rogers versus
Bill Nye
No,
versus
there
Bob
was-
Ross
Is it? No, I feel like it's not Bob Ross. It's
versus Julia Childs.
Can
There
someone
was
look it
Sir
up?
Isaac Newton versus Bill Nye, which was Weird Al and one of the
Yeah.
epic rap battle. Wow, that's a really hard. Epic rap battles of history. That was a good one.
It's versus
Mr. T,
Mr. T. What the fuck?
because it's Mr. Rogers versus Mr. T.
Yeah.
It's an incredible one. There's also a Ninja Turtle one. Anyway, they're fun, Tom. You dig them. Anyway,
We'll see.
Watsky in general as an artist.
I think there's a Tolkien one too.
Yeah.
I think there's
it's
a Tolkien
against,
versus Carol.
J.R.R. No, who is it against?
George R. R. Martin.
George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
I just can't speak today.
Mm.
I've lost all
Okay.
words.
That's all right. You're on strike.
Mm.
Anyway,
She's nice. We got time for maybe 2 of the pre-select
Yeah.
of the bin questions.
Here's
Or
one.
the-
here's one I got. I
Here,
want to
Corey wants
throw in
to
there.
fucking answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this one out there. What's that?
It's I copied it down, but go ahead.
Oh, go
Here.
ahead then. I just want to make sure it gets answered.
Yeah, question from Halo Wing 0. Haven't seen you in the chat in a long time. Good to see you. Anyone gonna watch the remake of Rurouni Kenshin?
Yes, it looks incredible. Me all day.
Corey will.
Yeah, I'll report
Corey
back to
will-
you too.
I'll watch it. I definitely want to read a little bit more about like how's everyone feeling about it, because it is very tied to the creator in a weird way. But like not to like taint it or anything like that. But hopefully, I think there's like new creators involved in it all. But yeah,
Yep.
Josh probably has to watch the original.
Yeah.
Nah, he doesn't have to.
I've
You don't
watched
have to.
I've watched one episode that
Yeah,
you showed,
yeah.
showed me.
Yeah.
Kenshin.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a really good show.
It's a redemption show. It's purely redemption. Purely this bastard man who just is like, I gotta be a good guy. I gotta be a good boy now.
I have to repent for all my things.
That's all it is. That's all it is. And then he's just like, I'm the resident cowboy who brings justice to these streets, baby.
Yeah,
Good show.
cool.
Cool. Next question from the chat. Let's do this one. 51 Jonathan. Question. What's your thoughts of Zack Snyder's R-rated Star Wars Rebel Moon? My thoughts. Insert it into my eyes. Let me buy the tickets in theaters if I can. And I think it's also silly that there's going to be 2 versions of the movie. There's going to be a rated R and a PG-13 one because Netflix, like, we're going to make 2 versions of them because we want to just maximize the numbers. And I was like, that's weird, Netflix, but I'm glad you have all the money to do that because now we can just watch several different versions of
for you.
but I'm excited. Zacky Snacky wanted to make this like a Star Wars movie for such a long time, but the fact that they weren't buying, now he's just going to do it on his own in his own way, allows him some freedom that I think you couldn't do within the Star Wars world. I'm really excited to see again him kind of flexing that fucking, all these women are badass motherfuckers kind of storyline telling, and also like his, very, very grounded sense of like grounding the fantastical things of like spaceships and robots and lore and history, and there's always something beyond that. So I'm about it.
I'm totally about it. I'm gonna watch it. Of course, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I like violence.
I'm into it.
I like
day one. I'm gonna
stuff.
day one that shit.
Give me the R's. Give me the R ratings. I'm here for it.
I think it's really cool that it was. I mean, obviously, I would have loved to see it within the Star Wars universe, just for shits and giggles of seeing Zack Snyder direct a Star Wars movie. But I'm kind of glad it's not. At the same time.
Yeah. One last question before we end it off.
Yeah.
This is a short one. Bad Reprint asks, "Have you answered my Telegram yet?" No. I was getting all the questions all down here, and then I will decipher it. I will get it. I will decipher it. Just not yet. Maybe next week. There's a lot of questions that we were supposed to answer. We haven't answered yet, but they're there. We have it. We have a Discord for a reason.
We have them. Oh shit.
Can't
I got one more question for you guys.
Oh, okay.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Sweet.
You are sweet.
Savory.
You know why?
Savory.
Because then I wouldn't be able to have peanut butter if I didn't answer sweet.
Savory all day, baby.
I can live without everything else, but peanut butter ain't it, homie. Can't have fruit. That's sad.
You didn't say I'd lose one. You just say which one do you like.
No, you got to pick one.
Peanut butter doesn't taste.
Pick one, and then the rest of it dies.
To me,
peanut butter doesn't taste. What?
I'm
savory.
Confused.
What are savory foods?
That does not taste sweet to me. That's savory to me.
Wild. Maybe it's just what brand of peanut butter we're buying.
Savory foods with sweetness.
Your red's not my red. I think that's all the time we got.
Hamburgers, pizza, chippies, dried meat, mac and cheese, quesadilla, potato, soup. All those are savory.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, yeah. I have to tell you guys about something, and I know that there are some people in our chat that do live in LA.
Bye bye.
We tried a new restaurant called no, it's not new. I don't know. Anyway, it's new to us, called Hamburgetza, and it's basically Chinese food with burgers. And we were like, fuck it, let's just try it. And we got like their chili relleno burger and their like chorizo fries, like chorizo nacho fries, and we split those. Holy shit!
Where are they located in Glendale?
I don't know. We got it on DoorDash.
Are they located in?
I'll find out.
What is this place called?
Hamburgetza.
How do you spell it?
Just a second.
Gateza?
Hamburgetza. Hamburgetza.
I get that right? I spelled it as you were.
It's in where is it? This is. Oh, it's in
to
North
Hollywood.
It's in North Hollywood.
What the fuck is this?
Wow.
All right. Anyway, gotta go check
delicious.
that out. I'll talk to you guys later. You know the drill.
Yeah. Okay, you find somebody to raid, Tom, and I'll do the business.
Yes, I will.
Yes, Daddy. Everybody at home, have a wonderful rest of your week. If it's hot where you are, stay cool, drink water, You know those kinds of things. It's good for you. Drink water. Watch your
We're gonna
favorite
go
movie.
We're gonna go and raid Unfiltered, aka my boy Phil Barker. He loves comic books, movies, good guy, playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. So all you fucking
That's
nerds,
what's up.
tell him who sent you there. But Josh, read us, sing us out.
Yeah. But yeah, just take the number one lesson, take care of yourselves. And if you can, include us on your journey, whether it's YouTube, our website, our Twitch streams, whatever it is, your podcast apps, just bring us along for the ride. We
Yeah.
heart you.
We'll heart you forever.
Yeah. I mean, we already will, but we'll we'll have like dirty thoughts about you. Right?
We already do. We'll
Yeah.
have more.
Yeah, we'll have more.
I think the raid message should be your favorite Pokemon. Just be like, "What's up from Nerd On? My favorite Pokemon is."
Boom.
All right, everybody. You know the drill. As always, Nerd on. None of my Stream Deck stuff is working, so